Huh. Bada 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 bada. Okay, so I can hear myself. Oopsie daisy. Huh. That's a strange one. Let's see, I'm gonna keep talking to see if it still picks it up. Okay, it does. It does indeed. Huh. Okay. Let's, Yikers. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Yep, yep. Okay, now that I have that, I'm gonna turn on... Sorry. OVR toolkit, cooperate. So there's one. Okay. I should have a second one. Window list. Nope, there's only one here. Okay, that's fine. No. Switch window. There it goes. There we are. Okay. Oh, you can hear me? Great. That's wonderful. Alright. Let me just, Oh, yikers. Okay, well, I wasn't planning it for it to be so big. So let me do this, and then just outstretch it to a field. And then put it like this. Okay, now like this. Okay, now let's see what we're gonna do. So we're gonna crop the window a little bit. Yep, there we go. Back. Okay. Okay. And now let's see what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna just window list. Turn the opacity. Gotcha, gotcha. I'm gonna turn the frame rate to 10. I'm gonna turn off eco mode. Cutie, no cutie you, cutie bean. Let's see. I think everything is okay, so I'm just gonna turn that off. And I think everything is good. Yeah, everything should be good. Now let me move my... That's better. Oh. Yeah, it has issues normally opening up my menu anyway. So that's also kind of... So that also kind of sucks. Oofity. Let's clear content cache so I can swipe it. Alright. Alright. Good, good, good. There we go. Alright. Now let me set up my stream cam. VRC is going to be weird about it. Just give it a moment. Alright. Oh, hackers. Oh my. Okay. So let's... Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. Phoenix King, that's good timing. That's perfect timing. Give me 1 second, my man. Let me also... I'm gonna lock this in my chest. Okay, and then before we accept that, we're gonna see how it looks on stream. Which is great. Alright, awesome. So 1 moment. Like for me to stream VRC for you sometime. As much as that sounds awesome, you're a cutie, by the way. As much as that sounds awesome, I'm one of those people that's like, a lot of my stuff, like I need to be active participant usually, which is an issue, unfortunately. Oh my. There we go. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now I'll be right back. I gotta take a whiff, and then I'm gonna accept that invite request. Okay. Was Bella Belle soft and smooth like caramel? Well, can't you tell? My name is Bella Belle. Dun, 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 yeah. Alright. Alright. Let me see. Alright. Oh, heavens. Let's go, V. It's okay, VRC. You can do it. You're a good bean. You know how to do this. VRC, come on. VRC, you're good. Come on. Oh, VRC, I believe in you, buddy. Come on. Oh, heavens. Okay, there we go. Hoo-wee! Howdy, Phoenix. How are you? Woofity woof. How are you? Cutie. Oh, heck. Sorry, VRC. I have social open and stuff, so it's being a little weird with me. It doesn't like me, apparently, recording VRC with all the stuff that I mean, sorry, streaming VRC with all the stuff I'm currently doing right now. But I did want to let you know I was kind of streaming at the moment, if that's okay. Is it okay?
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cute. Just letting you know, because I didn't say anything before I, like, the invite request. Give me a second. I'm going down to the currently streaming tab. Oh, heck. Oh, please. Oh, dear. Oh, my. Oh, heck. Okay, VRC. Slow and steady. Slow and steady, VRC. Okay, I must have passed up the currently live streaming group so I could put the little banner above my head. Howdy. I hope you're having a fantastical day. Cutie bean.
Trying to. Yeah. This mirror.
I know. It's very like it reading it can be very small and acts like an issue. Oh no, where is it? I'm gonna have to actually search the name. Yes, it is. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna hope that everything is cute. Currently, I wonder if I have to say currently live streaming because that was in the banner, or is it just gonna be live streaming? How are you doing? I hope your day has been fantastic, you cutie bean. Oh, VRC. Okay, there we go. Oh, there it is. Did I not join it the other day? I did not. Join this group. Hit join. In the process of doing it. Oh, is it gonna do that weird bug thing where it doesn't let you? No. No! No! Come on, I'm just trying. Heckle. Heckle. Come on, dude. That sucks. I wish it let me do it. Oh well. I can pick it up another time. But yee, so you can see it's probably good. It's probably me gonna be like small instances. I usually run games for this. Hello. Hello, Phoenix. Is good be yes. Oh yes. You cutie bee. I'm glad your day's been well, as the sounds of it, if I heard you properly. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad.
Productive.
Hey, yo, tell me what that's been like. What? Tell me what you've done today.
I took a nap.
Yes.
I played video
Good to
games.
keep the strength up. Oh yeah. Sounds very productive.
And I finished my homework.
Oh, that's good. I'm happy for you. Yes, that's good. Those all good things. All good things. Let me see if I can move myself in a way of which I know he's
off of Apex.
I noticed. I like. Okay, so while I was like AFKing and I was doing this stuff.
He gave me this stupid like, oh yeah, after this match, all right, I'll get on VRChat after this match. An hour later,
he's still playing. They can be pretty long, but also, yeah, I agree.
No.
Yeah, I know. They're not that long. I get you.
Apex Legends matches do not last an hour long.
They can be like 20, 40, depending on. But
It could
anyway,
be
like
30, it could be
seriously,
30. It could be 30 minutes maximum.
yeah. But
30
I'm not
minutes
gonna put him down
maximum.
for that. A lot of us will sometimes be like, "Oh, after this, and we do mean it, and we do mean it. We
Oh,
just
after missed that,
don't
like
catch
four,
ourselves.
like 4 fucking matches later.
Oh dear, that's a oofy. I like that you're bouncing.
I like bouncing.
Yes, I got music going too, so.
Not
Cutie
like that,
bean.
chat.
Yeah. Oh, uh-huh. Yeah, not like that. You say, okay, you're top two. I'm sorry, I'll leave you alone.
Well, I'm a switch.
Okay, let's cute. I'm gonna get stuff out of my head. Stop. Okay, wait. Let's see. I can. Thank you,
I can
Yazi.
move cars around, but all my stuff is set up.
Wow, wow, my computer really does not enjoy this. Oh, it is getting so bad. Give me a minute. I'm gonna stop moving. Hopefully everything will be okay. Alright. Slowly. Slow and steady, as they say. Alright. Maybe one of these is the rain? Nope, rain's still there. No, rain's still there. Maybe the rain is like... no matter what. God, it fucking... Whoa, my PC is trying to churn it out. It is not... it is oofing. It is oofing right now. And it's only like this, just because I have standable and stream avatars on. What if I turn stream avatars off? Ah, but it wouldn't be as cool, would it? Oofity. Alright. Let's see. Oh, I gotta turn around to do that. Yeah, uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh, that's right. Okay. As much as I would hate to... God, I really don't want to take it off, though. But it might be best if I do. Oh, it's gonna suck, but I don't want to. Let me see how it looks in VR. Wait, now all of a sudden it's better? A little bit? Oh, yeah, a little bit better. For a second, it was, like, totally grainy. And yeah, it's grainy now, but... Alright. As he's doing that, I'm gonna... Okay, get rid of my menu. Just so that can load without me being all... God, even mid-end PCs aren't like a fan of VRChat, or at least streaming it. Oofity. Enjoying the coffee stuff, yes. I love it too. Let me see if I go a little closer, will it go through the wall?
Make the coffee.
I know, that's what makes me so sad. That's just coffee stuff, but you can't make the coffee. I was like, that's gay.
Well, I can, but they're like,
oh, you
ooh,
can?
need espresso cup. And then
Oh,
like,
they
the
need a
tiny
specific
ass
cup.
No, look,
That's
look.
pretty funny.
The tiny ass cup will clip automatically into it. But then it'll say espresso cup. So I bring the espresso cup and nothing fucking happens.
Ooh, huh, let me... Oh! Wait, what? Oh, there it goes. Wait, what? Oh, huh. What if I...
No,
oh, my bad.
Click this button. Nope.
Oh, you're right, nothing does happen. What the fuck? Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, all this shit's broken.
Ooh, ooh, oopity, oopity. Okay. The food isn't, though, thankfully. Oh, VRC, calm down. Alright, radical. Oh. Woo! Wow! He's like, nope, not again. It's cute. I love that stuff. I was getting super grainy. Coolio. I'm gonna see if I can change. Okay, so we're not gonna restart, of course. But for another stream, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the settings, and no wonder I was trying to do it at a 90% frame rate. How fucking busted! No, oh, that must have happened when the update came in. Okay, 1 sec. Let me see here. Do some recording. Optimal resolution. Yes, indeed. Actually, that might be it. Let's see. Bitrate is at 23. Okay. Okay. It completely broke sitting on some avatars. Yeah, you're correct. Yes, indeed. It did. It did. Oh, oopsie daisy. That's my camera. So let me... I think that's it. Oh, wait. Let me take a look here. All right, radical. Okay, I was checking to see like where you were. I saw you looking at me, but it was only in the mirror. So I got even more confused. Alright, I'm gonna put this back on my chest. Her name was Jerio. Okay, there we go. Many years ago. How you doing?
Here, give me 1 second. I'm on a call.
Gotcha. In the air, spin around like Vanna Star. Longings in his head like Geraldine's routine. And shake 'em down. Like Geraldine's routine. That's Geraldine's routine. Just shake 'em down. Uh-oh, yeah, I hear you, right? It's like Team Stream Chat. Oh dear. Including the one I just bought. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Yeah, see, that sucks. Let me change, the settings for... Because I can see that the frame rate needs to be a little bit higher. As much as that might hurt my PC, and I really hope it does not. Geraldine's new flame. All's in the air, spin around like Vanna Star. Time like Geraldine's routine. I'll turn up to 30. Sips and shake 'em down. Like Geraldine's routine. Radical. Oh, right. One sec. I know what I should be doing. Oh, I do have it up, though. Oh, huh. That's weird. I mean, to be fair, your avatar is a stream avatar. Is a stream avatar? What? You mean the one I use for streams? Let me just... It does. I'll be fine, though. Alright, coolio. It's in the air, spin around like Vanna Star. Dang, yeah. Was in the air, spin around like Vanna Star. Geraldine's routine. Hips and shake 'em down. Like Geraldine's routine. Was in the air, spin around like Vanna Star. Geraldine's routine. Did I misunderstand? I'm just saying your VR avatar still represents you. Oh, thank you. Yes, of course. Of course it does. Thank you. You're a very sweetheart. I appreciate it, Yazzie Bazzi. You're fucking cute. Whoa. When we were playing Toontown earlier, did I ask you how your day was, Yaz? Because I don't think I remember doing that. Oh, hello! Woof. You fucking cutie. Oh, wow. What did I say? He's looking at the camera to see when you got so close. Oh wait, it grabbed my camera too. Oopsie. My bad. Oh, let me. Wait, I'm gonna move to the. Okay. Wait. Me trying to adjust for like IRL like movement. Oh no. Let me see.
Alright, I'm gonna go say hi to another friend of mine. Alright, I'll see you in a bit, Toast.
Oh. Okay. Have a good one, buddy.
I will, you too.
Oh, VRC. VRC, please don't lose it. VRC, this is supposed to be a happy marriage. Come on. Okay, there we go. Okay. The empire's now, no papa. Tell me what you saw, Chinchangela. Can you hear the call, no papa? See it in your eyes, Chinchangela. Papa day. Years ago, built the empire strong. Cute bean. VRC behave for tail, nice moves. Oh, thank you, buddy. I believe you did. In any case, it's been fine. Yours, it's been pretty good. Had a good wake up call. Had breakfast in the morning. Was pretty good. My lovely man made my favorite breakfast. It was so wonderful. And let's see. Can you hear the call? Oh, papa. Can see it in your eyes. Chan-chan-dula. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Is it replaying? It shouldn't be. No, it's just, oh, it's one of those ones that loves to repeat. Next one. What is the next one? Oh, booty swing. I love this one. All right, let's see. I wonder what we should be doing in the meantime. I would like to chat about something, but I don't know exactly what. Also, my day was good as well. I enjoyed playing. I was gonna stream immediately, but I ended up just playing with you and Nugget for a while, and I very much enjoyed myself, and I was happy with that. Yeah. I wonder what is a game that can deal with all this. You know, I haven't seen what Remnant Vale looks like on I haven't seen what Remnant Vale does stuff with. Oh fuck. I'm sorry. What Remnant Vale how well it will deal with us standable. Oh, well, I'm glad you're glad. I'm glad you all enjoyed it too. I love hanging out with you guys. Before your sweetheart. VRC having a moment. Turn on, let's see, so I can VRChat and minimize it as well. Everything's okay. Oh dear, I think it did the thing again. Give me a second. Bum 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 dun 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 bum bum yeah. Okay, it's downloading it. That's what's going on. Oh my god, my string camera is fucking crazy. Oh no. What happened to the music? Oh no. Oh no. It's my. Oh. Oh dear. Oh, okay. My bad, bro. I was wondering what was going on. Oh, it went to a Hyper Potions playlist? I do have him, but I don't remember clicking him. Oh well. Sounds pretty good though. I enjoy his stuff. His stuff's great. A lot of his stuff is also set to be able to stream with, which is great. We love that shit. Every stream is a learning opportunity, so I'm going to real quick. I'm just gonna keep playing songs from my playlist. But please look into Hyper Potions. He's a wonderful guy. Great artist. Sorry if you hear my dogs, they get excited. Even this late at night, unfortunately. Goodness, Spotify. There we go. Hit play. Let's see when it decides to behave. Also, kind of turn around here. Okay. It should start doing its stuff soon. Still keeping my... And let me do that. Bounce with my legs together. There we go. Just so I can keep tracking me. Bum bum ba dun 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 do 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 do. Shooba ba. Bum bum. Let's do. Oh dear, VRC's having a fit. I'm sorry. All right, so it's just sound not responding. So that's good. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It'll fix itself in a moment, and then I'll minimize it so that it will have less issues running on top. I just gotta wait for it. VRChat loves doing this to me on a normal day too, even when I'm not streaming. So I have some faith that everything is gonna be fine. It's really just how long it takes. It usually doesn't take too long, but I've sat here for 20 seconds and a little longer before. Come on, VRC, you're a good boy. I know you are. I know, VRC. You want me to pet your head? Yeah. Uh-huh. Come on. Come on, my dude. Oh, hackers. Yikers, VRC. We really doing this? Okay, so how about this? Every time, what a wonderful time. It's when on the Ritz. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, right, Ozzy? Man. It's putting on the Ritz. I might have to take off. I'm gonna take off the stream avatars and see if that helps. As much as I really don't want to, I love that so much. But if it just can't behave for VRC, then I won't be using the processing power for it. No, good. Shut it down. Yes. Okay, good. Oh my god, dude, it's been giving me so much trouble, man. Come on, VRC, you're good. Everything's cool. I used to be able to go in VRC all the time and just like straight up just play in public lobbies, and I had no issue. I don't know what's going on. Putting on the Ritz. Hope it's not having issues with standable. You go ba ba ba. Goodness gracious, my dude. Heavens above. Heavens above! No fluffing way! Oh? VRChat? Oh my god. Oh, VRChat. My baby. Oh my god, it was good there for a second. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. Oh, oh yes. Okay, and minimize it. Oh my heavens above. Okay, I think it's running. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my lord. Holy heck. Oh my god, I'm back in. I'm back in. Oh. Yes. God damn, it used to not give me such issues before. I wonder if it's standable. Oh my god, it even kicked me out. It was like, nope. Can't do that for you, sir. No. Fuck. It's gonna send me back to my homeworld. Oh my. Yeah, I don't know why it's going on with it, man. I mean, it'll still give me issues when I'm not streaming, but it hasn't been like this bad. I wonder what it is. I'm gonna see if it says encoding overloaded. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. Oh, that's right, but I can't do that unless I'm... Yeah, that's right, I can't do that. Can't do that? What was it? Can't let you do that, Star Fox. But like, in not like the normal cool way that he does it, but like in a more annoying way. Like in a very contrarian, fuck you kind of way. Lord almighty. Come on. Come on. I must have made the mistake of hitting settings. Oh dear. Give it a momento. Okay, let's see. Apply. Okay. Oh shit, is it working? Wait, but that's so weird. I see that for VRC. On stream it shows up for VRC, but I'm being sent to my homeworld, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know. Oh. Wait, that's freaky. Dude, VRC has me between two worlds right now. That's freaky. Okay, not responding. Give it a second. I'm a... VRC, we can make peace. Do I have to give you a written agreement or something, bro? Oh my good lordy Lou, bro. Oh heavens. Oh? Oh my god, VRC. Come on. Come on. I worry though, now that my VR is stuck in the middle of it, Because, like, I can see that this is part of the VR world, but it says on my end on VR that I'm loading into my own world, which is freaky. So I think I'm gonna have to quit VRC for a second, and then it's gonna. I'm gonna hate it. I gotta do that. That's what I gotta do. At least I've turned the. You know what? I'll even even while all that's going on, I'll turn up my encoding speed to an even faster one. And I'm gonna have to live with it, and everything will be fine. Output preset lower quality. Okay. Yes. All right. All right. Except for VRC, which it already seems to be running faster. That I'd put it down from the normal quality down to lower, like not just low quality but lower quality. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. It's okay, Ozzy. I appreciate you being very sweet anyway. I hope you're playing a game while watching this, because this has been oof. Encoding's still overloaded? You're joking me. It's probably just because it's launching. Not while it's like doing its thing, so I'm sure it's fine. You ain't got no money, nothing I do. Did you say so? I'll wrap up my things and go. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Talking, yeah. Bum 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 dun 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 dun. Bum 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 dun 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 dun. Because, oh my god, so much of this is unusable. Oofity. Makes me jealous of the people that have, like, an actual fucking income. Guess I'll be back on my feet someday. Goddamn tune, don't got no money, I'm just not due. Did you say so? I'll whack up my things and go. I guess if you say so, I'll wrap up my things and go. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Whoa, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more. Oh, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more. No more. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more. Oh my heavens, Lordy Jesus Christ. Oh heavens above. Bum 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 bum. What you got? Bum bum na 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 na. Dun dun na 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 na. Bum bum na 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 na. Did you think sound? Dun dun dun. Love the bassoon. Play. Oh. Don't stay. What you got? Mr. Maybe something real high. Something real high. Gotcha. What you got? When you're dumb and crazy, I'll tell you to stop. Tell you to stop. Competition, no commission, Need you side. Let's have a ball. See what you got. Let me put this behind me. Yeah. Bum ba na 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 na. Dun dun na 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 na. Midnight wine. Damn, don't you look so fine. Gonna black. Dilly in black. What ya? Not what you give me a song. Oh. That's what I get it all wrong. Okay, I'm loading my homeworld right now. Back. What you got? Mister, baby, something real hot. Something real hot, don't nutcha. What you got? Then I tell you to stop. Tell you to stop. Presentation I, audition I, auditions I. Let's have a ball. Say what you got. All right, fuck it. Lowest quality. Apply. No fear. All right, we're connecting. 'Cause that's my middle name. Baby, on top of the world of flame. Don't call me crazy. Yeah, that's my middle name. Baby, that's a world of flame. That's my middle name. World of flame. You can call me crazy. That's my middle name. Say what you got, what you got. Mr. Baby, something real hot. Something real hot. What you got? Until I tell you to stop. Hell yes, finally. Petition I, for commission I. Did you sign? Let's have a ball. Say what you got. Oofity. 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 Oof. Oh god, that's pretty bad, dude. Hear that sound? That's the sound of me hitting the mute button. Oh, look, it worked. Alright. Me trying to move forward and jump so that doesn't, like, fuck up my, like, because when I walk forward and it, like, shows part of your avatar, or part of the blue parts of the avatar, it'll slow it down a little bit more just because it's having to put it on your, like, visual. I'm loading, so I'm gonna stare forward. Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro. Oh, that's F9. My bad. Come on, VRC, we're pals, bro. Thank you. He's a very kind lad. Yeah, yes he is. Okay. Oh, haven's above. Oh god. Okay. Calibrate FPT. That's close as I could get it, I think. Yeah. Gimme your man after midnight. Alright. Currently streamed camera. Give it a second. Alright. It's on the van, dun 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 dun. No one to hear my prayers. Saying, gimme your man after midnight. Help me change the shadows of gray. Gimme your man after midnight. And seem the sick of the game. Radical. Alright, let me... Hey, group, move my hands so it'll load a little faster. Alright. Find group. I'm gonna see if I can join that thing again. Strange. It doesn't want to seem to go through, which is unfortunate. There was one for other ones, but they didn't look like they would get attention and let you know. Just so that, like, more so as in, like, hey, don't say anything you'd rather not let other people hear you say. One of those things, you know? Though, I mean, like, if you're gonna say something really, really awful, maybe you might deserve it. Maybe you might deserve it. Okay, no. Let's see. Having trouble. I'm gonna steal that line. Which line was it? Something catches me. Staring blankly space. Don't mind me. I'm still loading. Don't mind me. I'm still loading. Yeah. Was that the line? Gimme. After midnight. Gotta let. Gimme a man after midnight. Bum bum ba na 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 do 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 ba da 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 do 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 do. There we go. What's the next one gonna be? It's sunny. It's kind of funny. That's where it goes next after that. Not shoot your shot. I'm not interested right now. Oh, I accidentally clicked forward in the song. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. I love this one. Da-da-da-da-da. Said you were going to stare forward because you were loading? Yeah, that's funny. That's true. La-ba-ba-ba-ba. Lazy. I'm really lazy. Going crazy. La-ba-ba-ba-ba. Lately. Can save me. La-ba-ba-ba-ba. That's the best I can do, because like I usually move my feet while I dance like a lot more, but because they're not being tracked, I'm trying to focus up top, and it's hard to do when I'm not trying to do both. E. Cute bean. I think I'm gonna move this up just a little more. Just a smidge. Alright. Here we go. Good morning, midnight. Lead up, 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 up. Alright. We're gonna start a private instance. We're gonna start a private instance of that remnant game just to see, like, how it's going. Because I want to see what I'm looking for. I'm trying to see if standable holds up while I'm going through the air. Because usually when I did it, it, like, shows your, like, tail being, like, thrust backward, and it's so weird. I'm just gonna start like a straight invite one. Who knows if this dance is gonna be repeated? La 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 la. Ba-na da na na na. Do 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 do. See if it's for a ticket or a minute. 7 to the limit. Who knows if this dance is gonna be repeated? bum ba da ba da ba bum ba da ba da bum bum ba da ba da ba 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 ba. I'm gonna. Okay, so today's Sunday, right? Today is Sunday. That's true. Correct? Let me check here. I believe it is indeed Sunday. Yes, it is Sunday. Okay, so I'm going to try to do either a singing stream on, or a stream that involves singing at least a little bit of it. I'm going to have a sing section for it on Tuesday, or sorry, on Tuesday, or what do you call it? On Wednesday. God, what's with my brain right now? My bad. Lowe's knows home improvement. I'm gonna do that again. There we go. Can you guys hear the ads right now? I'm so hope not. Bah. Okay, good. That's good. That's great. That's wonderful news. Okay. It should be back. Is the music back? Yes? Oh, OVR out. Okay. I'll wait then. Me crazy. Those fairy tales. Not so lazy. Listen well. Way we jump around. You need to do all bit of contemplate. It's in the sound. Really want our soul, not control the outcome. So I can control the outbeat. So let's move it on. Work out the strings, don't control the outbeat. To make it stop, to save no strings attached. Bum 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 dun 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 dun. The way you jump around. VR? Oh no, did it send me back to my homeworld? Oh, come on. What is up? What is going on, bro? Dude, it is not happy with me. It is not loving it. Have you heard of extraterrestrial encounter? No, I haven't. Wow, I guess it just doesn't like the Veil world. That sucks. That sucks big time. I'm gonna sit down. Because so far things have been pretty disappointing. Count your strings and then control your dreams. To make it stop, to set no strings attached. They move the strings out and let them all the way you jump around. In Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland. Oh shit. Playing it in the sound. Yeah, okay. For some reason, it keeps unlasping. Like, it is not a fan of, like, VR. Of, like, whatever is going on right now, dude. Yeah, dude, it's showing a negative version of, like, the remnant map, which is really strange. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, so we learned our mistake. Don't go to the Veil map while you're streaming. Yikes. That's sad, and yeah, it's just sad. Oh, heavens above. Anky. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. What the hell? Now what if I hit go? Is it just gonna send me back to my homeworld? You think that's what's gonna happen? Oh my heavens above. I wonder if I should stop trying to go to places and stop trying to play games and just talk. Because I would love to talk about literally fucking anything. Literally anything right now. Please. Please. I've been trapped in this forever. What the fuck? Oh, I'm in error world? I'm in error world. I'm in the error world. That's what's going on. Heck. Yep, Eddie. Oh, okay, I forgot. Don't pull out your menu until you're fully loaded. Oh, heavens. Yikers, McGikers, dude. See, it'll work. It's like having the stuff like ever constantly like moving in the middle of everything. That's what causes the issues. So that's why a veil must be not good for this. I wonder if I can make Udon Sword work. I would be cool to just solo run Udon Sword, and hopefully that would work. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, but it might not be too bad, as much as I just kind of want to go for free stag, but let's just try this first. Putting on the Ritz. Yeah, we're gonna try to load Udon Sword, too. You can do it, VRC. I believe in you. See, look at you, being a fucking hero already. What are you doing, cute bean? Let's see. I'm doing good, retro. I've been dealing with like some heavy ass fucking VRC streaming issues for like quite a good amount of time, nearly an hour now. Just trying to get stuff working, and it's not happy with me. Unfortunately, so. Very oofity, oof. It's currently loading Udon Sword 2. I couldn't get into Remnant Veil, but I'm gonna guess that there were just too many heavy working parts on it for that to happen. Classic VRC. For real! For real. Oh my god, it's so bad. And the thing is, like, I'm using like a mid-end PC, so it doesn't really like VRC that much anyway. But I can kind of run VRC even with like a crash, or not even necessarily a crash, but like a bunch of like bolts here and there. Like you see me putting my head down like I'm in a fucking bunker sometimes. That's me trying to get the thing situated and it just letting it do it. Because I know the less that it's looking at while it's trying to recover, the more like the faster it'll recover, which is why I'm usually always looking straight the fuck down. And sometimes I'll even get down to my fucking to my knees. I'll straight crouch. All right, let's hope that this works out. Please, 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 because it just uploaded everything. Fuck. It just said go to the world. Okay, and I'm initializing world for Udon Sword 2. It might be a bit, but I love this world and I love playing in this world. It's very fun. It's putting on the Ritz. Do. Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yazoro was fingers crossing for me earlier. Let's see. The monster, if you want. Okay, the fox. Hello. Oh, DK the fox. Hello, DK. I hope you're having a lovely day, as well as you. Retro, Nova Bean, and I know that Yazi's. I've already wished him a happy day. I'll of course hydrate. Thank you very much, Sweet Bean. Okay, that might have been too much hydration. Heavens above. Now, I'm going to put that down. Maybe it might work a little faster the more things that I have. Oh, that's right. I was wondering what was going on. Give me a second. I'm going to turn the music back on. Okay. The music's going to be on. Chin, you're cute, and he hopes that you have a good night. Peach said, oh, tell him. Oh, tell him thank you. Posture check. I'm going to stretch out. And Spotify's up. Okay, good. Oh. Can't read the telephone. The internet, but it rejected. Oh, that's why VRC wasn't working. Okay, give me a second. Wasn't feel, what's the deal, baby? For you, and things you make me do. I'm standing up for you. I'm horny, 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 horny. So horny, 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 horny. I'm horny, 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 horny. Alright, maybe it might start working now. It froze while it was initializing the world for a little bit, but I think it'll start working in just a bit. Bum, 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 bum. Oh my god. Please? Please work? I beg, I plead. Sire, are you there? Is my king listening to me? Is he watching? VRC gods, are you there? Please, heed my prayer. Please. No, it's sending me back to my home world. No, I can't win. God damn it! What is going on? No, fuck. Oh my god. Oh, and let me guess, it's gonna run a reverse fucking version. It's running a reverse version of the fucking place I went to. Oh my god. It is just like what happened with Remnant Vale. Oh, that makes me so upset. And then let me guess, I'm going to have to. Oh my god. Why? I've never had this issue before. Yeah, you guys see it too? Do you guys see it? Sweating. Oh my goodness. It's so dumb. Like, what is this? What the fuck? Yeah, see all that bullshit? It makes no fucking sense. VRC is simply not happy with me today. Oh, what the fuck? Now I'm in my... What? Now I'm in my world? Okay, give me a second. No? Oh, okay. So it shows I'm in my world and I'm somewhere here, but it says now I'm joining? Oh, that's right. Okay, I now know why it's doing that. Because when VRC goes in, my so I have my stream camera out, right? And it's doing that. See, okay, so it was the stream camera that was picking it up at a bad angle, and now it's doing that. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's just not happy with me. I wonder what worlds are like okay, because apparently two of my two favorite worlds were not. Maybe things that contain less megabytes to load or something? I don't know. Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Why? God. Oh, God. Why? Okay. Does it need to be updated? I don't know. I've checked it. My VRC is good. If there was not an update today, then it has no need of an update, but it would have told me already, and I'm certain of it. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Straight sweating. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Complete insanity. I think, though, I might be able to do something about it. Give me a second. I won't be able to do something about it right now. I'm gonna have to put my VR graphics quality down to potato, which is gonna suck, but okay. And it only works upon reset, so we're not doing it tonight, that's for sure. Let's see. Need to be updated. I don't know. How's everyone doing, by the way? Also, I forgot to say, DK the Fox. I didn't notice. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate and for following. I hope you've been having an absolutely marvelous night. Everything's been going okay. I've been dealing with a lot of bullshit on my end, as you can clearly see. I'm usually spending a lot of my time in where's the phone? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, that's the camera bit. So I usually spend like a lot of my... Actually, let me just so I can see how close. Wow, that is far away. I don't remember making it that far away. Let's see, I even have to step forward to grab that. That's insane. That's insane. How are you doing? I hope you're all having a lovely night. I'm dealing with a lot of BS, and it's okay. It's alright. I'm down New Orleans. Okay. Geraldine's new flame. Paws in the air, spin around like Afghanistan. It's Geraldine's routine. It's off the ground, so shake 'em down. Sweat is thinning jazz. Geraldine's routine. Goodness. Oh no, my OVR toolkit. Oh, there it goes. Come on, pop back. Come on, my chat's supposed to be right there. Let me see if it went down. No, it's still here. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you, cutie bean. I appreciate it. Geraldine's routine. Check 'em down. Geraldine's routine. And shake 'em down. Ba ba da ba da ba ba da da. Where'd it go? I have my chat, but it's not there anymore. Windows list, bring it to me, bitch. It's in front of me, but it won't show. What the hell? To be famous instead. Come on. That's really strange. It hasn't done that before. What if I set it to something else and then do that? What if I put another Geraldine's routine now? For the standable FBT? No? Okay, so basically it's just telling me that it's broken. Alright, so if I close it, and then spawn another. It's annoying, but if I gotta do it, then I gotta do it. I'm very sorry about this, by the way. You're welcome. I sent a link on Telegram. Thank you, buddy. You fucking sweetheart. You dork bean. Oh, see, and it works just like that. Without penalties. Love and my energy. One more time. I have magical foresight. Times ugh. Take that bitch nowhere. Ugh. You know here. Ugh. I love that. Ugh. It's so funny. Bitch, I said what I said. Want to be famous instead. That gets in my head. Okay, I paint the town red. Wow, actually. Dude, turning curving on makes this so much better. I'm so happy. Okay, give me a second. I paint the town. Okay, I'm enjoying myself. I'm sorry. Have a need a car. Oh, what we scheming for? Oh heck. All right, I have. Maybe I should just stop trying to. Oh, OVR toolkit. What the fuck? No, OVR, come on. No, come back to me. No. I know I deserve to enjoy myself. I really want to. Oh, VRC just isn't interested in it though. He's like, what? Why would you want that? So it's like, yeah. Yes, that's exact look. The look of shock. Pikachu face. Surprise Pikachu face. Super my foot to the pedal. Give me a second. I'm gonna see if over your toolkit is behaving. Because I don't think it is. It still said that it's up, which surprises me. Oh no, why is all my Riot and League stuff still up? Why? Wait, why am I still in a Discord? No! Oh my god, have I been running things unnecessarily in the background? Fuck. I got a PC that, like, it's better not to do that, though. And I'm gonna mute that. Wait. There we go. Surprise Pikachu face. I'm still dying over here over that. That's funny to me. Oh, heavens above. It should be fun. So, is that why you've been having issues? I don't know. Maybe it could. Honestly, it could be a lot of things. It's probably multiple factors. So that's probably just one of the factors. Oh, what the? But everything's running better already. Maybe shutting off the Discord was the good thing. But I need my OVR toolkit in my hand, though. Let me see if I give it a double tap if it'll work. Yes, we'll see. We shall see. Come on, come on. Come on, OVR toolkit. Everything's okay. You're a good baby. Come on, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. We all know it. And we all believe in you. Alright? Fuck. Oop-ba-ba. Seeing in your eyes. Chan-chan-you-la. Okay, I'm gonna have to open OVR toolkit manually again. But other than that, everything should be fine. I would like to have something to talk to people about. If anyone has any, like, ideas. Like, if they want to ask my opinion on anything. Or, like, you know, just talk about something. Because I'd be towed down. I just don't have anything in my brain right now while I'm trying to fix this. Ooh, papa. Tell me what you saw. Dun, 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 dun. Can you hear the call of Papa? See it in your eyes. Chan chan you la. Papa day. OVR toolkit is stopping. Let's see. Empty and pause now. Oh, Papa. Tell me what you saw. Chan chan you la. Alright, it'll eventually start working. I'm thinking of getting a black cat in Toontown. What do you think of that? You definitely should get the black cat and like Toontown since Halloween is running around. That's the only time you can do it. So do it to get Jet. Please get Jet, and I'll help you like tune him up. You know, stuff like that. I'd love to help support Jet. Oh, thank you, Yazzie. Let me give you a hug too, Bubby. Yes. Oh. Q-Bean. Q-Bean. You will? Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy. Q-Bean. Hey, there it is, OVR toolkit. Come on. Come on. You can finish OVR. It's okay. It's only giving me part of it. What do you think of Jet? I think Jet's adorable. I think he's a really good, nice bean. VRC trying to... Yikers McGikers, bro. If I move a lot, will it... Okay, it'll test the limits. Tell me what you saw, Cinchangela. Can you hear the call of Papa? Can see it in your eyes. What the fuck? OVR toolkit just shut down again. No. Saj, bro. Oh, setup complete? Yes, yes! There it is. Imaginary lines, they fade away. Giving, what's the point in building? What's the point in building empty and pies now? Okay. I'm gonna crop a part of it. What's the point in building? What's the point in building empty and pies now? Salut papa, no. Tell me what you saw. Chin chin your love. Can you hear the call, papa? There we go, some good active cropping there. Thanks, your soners are cute, or cute beans too. Duh, of course, sweetheart, thank you. We're not at school. I think of, yeah, what do you think of Syringe Zora? I think so I don't have, like, any big opinions, but I think Ciro's, like, I think Ciro's cute. I know you love him being your favorite and all, as, like, your main and stuff. And so you got, like, your first VRC avatar to be like him. He's so cute, buddy. I think it's an adorable bean. I relate to him, but I also kind of relate to Yazzie on some things. It's... bruh. Okay, I think everything should be okay. Okay, it still doesn't like me opening my menu, but it doesn't like me doing that even when I'm not doing that stuff, so... All the things we like. It's never wrong, it's right. I'm gonna turn the bloom intensity stuff down. You can't vent into the basement jam. I think everything should be good, actually. Okay, well, to Zero, I'm very much like him to like some degree, personality-wise. I'm very how do I say it? I'm kind of I look for the low work that I know I can do rather than trying to like push myself and be like the most ambitious being I ever can. Unless it involves helping someone, then sometimes I'll try to go above and beyond. And oh, with Zero, I vibe with the what do you call it? I love to visit sometime. Well, thank you. It is pretty cozy. It's a very small space though. I'll even move aside so that I can, you know, show all the cute shit. It's got video players and stuff too, and mirrors all over the bed. On like, see its top side. I hope you can see the top side by just looking over there. I don't think it works out though. I'll show. I can show you this one though, definitely. Oh, yeah, see this one right here. It's pretty cute. Floofiness? Let's see. With Yuzora, I vibe with the whole people kind of like putting you down, sort of in the way, like, you know, people not really believing in you and stuff like that, and you still trying like your best. It's not fun. Oh, I think, oh my god, wait, I might be able to show you guys a video that I really, really like. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. It's made by, okay, actually, okay, that's right. The video is less, it's actually more of the song that's funny. Oh, advertisement. Oh shit. It's okay. Now there are two cuties. No, you. Well, that's right, this way. Hi. Let me, my string chat. Oh no, it just refreshed. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. It's okay, don't worry about it. Those parts of my life are kind of a little over, and everything's okay now, cutie. Chat pause due to scroll. Okay. Now, I'm gonna try to put on, So, does anyone know Tom Cardy on YouTube? Tom Cardy is a guy who has dealt with depression. You turn the ad on and left the music off. Really? So, is the music on now that I ask this? Is it on now? The music is off? What the hell? Okay, give me a second. Alright, thank you. You're right, you were right. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. So, like, Tom Cardy on YouTube. My apologies. He's, so he's a musician that's had, experience a lot with depression and stuff like that, anxiety, the common issues. Oh, I turned it on when the ad started. Oh no, so how long was it going without it? No. Alright, let me see. I'm gonna grab a link real quick from YouTube. Things might degrade for a second. But I love the guy's stuff. Okay, actually, I'm gonna put on two of his stuff before I put on the one that I want. I just want you guys to watch it because it's pretty funny. A passionate love affair. Fashion girl. For a man, show me romance. Power me with kisses and a moonlit dance. I want you to woo me. Take me back to black and white like a silent movie. I want you to woo me. Sound like a silent movie. I don't need no talking pictures. Okay. Here we go. Right. Let's see. I think everyone will remember mixed messages. Get it. Oh, thank you, Nova, you fucking cutie. I appreciate the biddies, you dorka. Oh, so sweet. Okay, I'm gonna grab this real quick. And then I'm gonna go back. And then I'm gonna search red flags. And I'm gonna play these 3, even maybe even 4. Honestly, maybe I might just play 4. Because this guy's stuff is so funny to me. Even the stuff that's not animated. Okay, yeah, that one's there. Okay. So I'm gonna... Oh shit, that was my bad. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. Video. URL? Yep. Now, real quick, I'm gonna pause this. It's loading. Okay, so I'm just gonna... Oh, fuck. All right. I'll just turn around. Oh, no. Mixed messages. Mixed messages. 7 fucking days. Mixed messages. Full stop. Hey, what? Okay. Fuck you. Oh my god. Sexual tension. You think I'm sexy, I'm being mysterious. Sending you these mixed messages. You say, stop punching my dad's dick. I say, okay, but then I wink. So you grab both of my hands quick. Stopping my third attempt to punch your dad's dick. Oh, baby, too bad. It's so funny. You got both my hands, so I use my head. I headbutt your dad's pants in the back of an ambulance. And between the headbutts, our eyes lock as we're holding hands. And we can't help but kiss your dad's not once, twice, thrice. Broken dick. I say I love you in a cute way, and then I punch your dad's dick every day. Tell your dad that I'm sorry, but then his fucking dick again, cause of course. Cause of course. No, stop, wait, don't play again. What the fuck? One moment, I'm gonna grab the other one. Oh my god. What is it? Watch time with tail. Oh no. Wait a sec, let me make sure I got this. You're silly. I fucking know, right? No, this one is like a messed. This one is like messed up, but it's pretty funny. Like, it's just like, oh my god, it's the fucking content. Oh, no, stop. Okay, 1 second. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I'll put it even further back. Stayed for 7 fucking days, yeah. Mixed messages. Staying for 7 fucking days, yeah. Moving this is hard. It is not. It's not easy. Okay, let's see. No, I didn't want that. Stop, in the name of the law. Okay. Nine, expecting the fight of my life. What I could tell, could I not see the danger right in front of me? Baby, that's my favorite too. Baby, I love Scooby-Doo. I'm gonna get murdered tonight. Cool. Shit, I'm gonna be the main course.
I try to get the waiter's attention by blinking in Morse code. I've got
I'm
something
blinking.
in my eyes. No, thank you. I don't want to die. Bonjour. Sir was blinking at me. Is this because your date is a freak? No. Very good then. Bon appetit.
This is so dumb. Best relationship you never had.
My heart's got bruises, but I'm ready to choose this
It's so dumb, bro. It's like, it's the thing is, it's like, okay, so the first time she says it, it's nowhere near as good as the first time she says it. And see, like, it's so dumb, but the thing is like, as absurd as it is, he can make an excellent... Give me a second. So, yeah. Yeah, and the picture of them with his dad in the, like, back of the ambulance. No, stop. So it's like super dumb. So like, how do I say it? Fucking. Okay, so here's the thing. No matter how absurd the content may be, he just finds a way to make a sweet fucking beat out of it. He's like a really good musician, so he's like a parody musician. He loves doing this shit. It's so funny. Women's like, I got like maybe like 2 more, but they are animated and they're not like ridiculous. Well, they're ridiculous, but in the good way. Like, Mixed Message is ridiculous in a good way, and like the other one was ridiculous in like a bad way. But the thing is that the music was so good that you don't give a fuck, right? All right. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna hydrate. Thank you, Babino. Thank you. You're a good bean. Thank you. 1 second. I'm gonna grab the link for this real quick. And then I'm going to... What is the next one? It was... Oh, right. It was... Hey, I don't work... No. Why did I put in a different one? Hey, I don't work here. There we go. All right, give me a fucking second. Give me a fucking second. Ah, I hate doing that. I'm so sorry. I know it's embarrassing. I'm very sorry. Okay, I'm gonna take a hydrate real quick before I... Actually, I'm gonna click this and then I'm gonna do that. Hot shit. Oh, you sweet bean. Thank you, Yazzie Bean. So cute seeing you so excited. Oh. Thank you, Yazzie Bozzy. You cute bean. Fuck yeah! POV, you're playing Amori. Oh shit! For real! Dude, for real! That's such a good fucking POV, you're playing Amori. Gotta get out of your head. Hot shit. You're so funny, dude. Yazzie Bean. Oh. Oh my god. One more. This one's the funniest one. This one is the funniest one. You're gonna be happy that you stuck around for this one because this is fucking funny. Okay. Okay. Charlie Barley, come on, Bobby. Come on. Butterbean. Come on, baby. Baby, you're in the way, honey. Oh my god. Oh god, he's throwing himself on me. Charlie, no. Oh god. He's like, but Papa, Daddy, I want you to love on me, Papa. Okay. Oh shit, what the fuck happened to my... Oh. Huh. That's weird. I think it's loading. Is it loading? I hope so. Let me try it one more time. Oh, now it's loading. Yes. It is indeed loading. You're gonna love this. You're gonna fucking love this.
Saturday morning comes and goes without too much
On my mind.
I walk down to the shops just to move, feel a bit rough from last night. I may have drunk a bit too much. A lady in the supermarket approaches way too fast, and her eyes are intense, and she spits a little bit when she asks, "Where do you keep the pasta?" "I don't know, aisle 3. "Well, can you get it for me?" "I just want a Gatorade," but she rolls her eyes, so I kind of lose it.
Hey, I don't work here, and if I did, I would not sell you shit.
Saturday ever comes and goes, and I'm feeling pretty great. I made a middle-aged woman cry today. Walking on the hot sand of Bondi Beach, I take a rest in the lifeguard tower shade. My foresight readies me for melee. A man runs from the surf and approaches way too fast. With a blue bottle across his chest, he shakes me as he asks, "You gotta save my kid." "I can't really swim." "What kind of lifeguard are you then?" "I'm just here to take a nap," but he rolls his eyes, so I kind of snap. Hey, I don't work here, and if I did, I would not save your kid. Hey, I don't work here, but maybe I should. That way I could help relieve that nasty thing for you. Hey, I don't work here, but if I did, would I make a race car out of sand then fall asleep? Hey, I don't work here, but maybe I should.
Yeah, maybe I should.
What about my son? He's drowning.
He's drowning.
Swims weird. You shouldn't hold that against him. Oh my god, thank you. I can't begin to... He's gone. Saturday night comes and goes
Without too much on my
Just
mind.
kicking a ball down the street. I give it too much juice and it flies over the fence of my local NASA compound. Just bear with me. Guards are all passed out. It seems there's been a planned attack. The alarm is blaring loud, but I'm the only one intact. I try to phone for help, but unfortunately, there's an alien transmitting itself to NASA screens specifically.
Give us your planet.
Okay, I don't... Let me find someone, alright? Just relax.
Give us your planet.
I said... Okay, like, under attack.
Give us your planet.
Okay, I don't have the authority to do that. I just came to get my ball, but it's been a long day, so I speak for us all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are reporting live across the globe alarming news as extraterrestrial life has issued a statement of war to planet Earth. The alien transmission technology has left all but one individual incapacitated within the transmission receiving point, a NASA space compound located in Sydney, Australia. The time has come and humankind can do nothing more than pray and watch on as the diplomat for planet Earth responds with what we can only imagine as an articulate plea for peace and mercy.
I don't work here, and if I did, I would not surrender shit. Hey, I don't work here, but maybe I should. No way I could take a drink to Mars and strangle you. Hey, I
Elected Earth president saves planet from invasion. Actually quite awkward. I love it. Bro. Oh my god. Pluto doesn't care, he's not a planet. Yeah. Be happy even if it isn't funny. I'm just happy to be with you, buddy. Yazzie, you're so sweet. You're so sweet, you wonderful, supportive being, you. You fucking adorable boy. Ah. Oh my goodness gracious. No, you're sweet, you fucking cutie. Hey, I don't work here, but maybe I should. Oh, maybe I should. Oh no, oh maybe I should. Oh no, no, maybe I should. Oh, oh, maybe I should. Maybe I should. You fucking cutie. What was it? It was something. Let's see. He's like something about like about him when he was laying down on the beach. He was like, my sunscreen ready to be for melee. I was like, oh god. But I love if that monster I sent you became a Kingdom Hearts secret boss. You know what? I'd be down. I'd be down. Give me 1 second. I'ma take this forward, and I'ma get. So my knee's a little bit here, and I'ma see that picture that you sent me. It seems there's been a planned attack. Since when they asked, give us your planet. Hey, I don't work here, but if I did, I would not surrender shit. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, let me find my fucking mouse. Hey, I don't work here, and if I did, I would not sell you shit. Hey, I don't work here, and if I did, I would not save your kid. Hey, I don't work here, maybe I should. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, no, no. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, no, no. Oh, maybe I should. Hey, I don't work here, and if I did, I would not surrender shit. Hey, I don't work here, but maybe I should. Oh, oh, maybe I should. Let's see here. What'd you send? Theme park history? You mean that? You mean that? That thing? Oh, that's terrifying. That would make for a great secret boss, but also, oh, holy shit. Oh my god. That's crazy. Oh my god. Oh, that's terrifying. Yeah, that'd make for great. Oh my god. I guess I'm gonna watch this clip that you made. Give me a second. It seems there's been a planned attack. He shakes me when he asks. Give us your planet. Give us your planet. Oh, maybe I should. Yeah, no. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, oh, no. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, oh, no. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, oh. Oh, maybe I should. Yeah, you're right, dude. Fucking for real. It's terrifying. There's been a planned attack. Shakes me when he asks. Give us our planet. Give us our planet. Give me a second. Okay, wow. That was a good clip. Thanks for that, sweetheart. Give me a second. Look, what the fuck? And it's like, and my fucking like hips break. It's been a planned attack. Willie tells me when he asks. Give us your planet. Oh my god, dude, there's this one guy that I would, from videos that I would love to show to you guys, but I don't think I have enough time to make it, like, really good, because his videos can be pretty long, but he's just really funny. I'm looking up anything that I could show you that perhaps would just be a good idea. And he shakes me when he asks. Give us your planet. Maybe you should, I don't know, give us your planet. Maybe you should, I don't know, give us your planet. Alright, everything here is not looking like it'll be up for it. Thank you, cutie bean. Okay, there we go. Alright, yes, I'm gonna do I have anything? I don't think I have anything. Okay, no, then I'm gonna take this back. I'm gonna wait, give me a second. If I do it to world, will the anchor change? Like, okay, so like, okay, no, that's not gonna work with me. No, come back. Wait. Okay. I was about to be like, the fuck is going on? No. It seems there's been a planned attack. And he shakes me when he asks. Give us your planet. Maybe you should. Give us your planet. One second, I'm gonna see what it is. Oh wait, wait a second. Thank you, I appreciate it, you cute bean. Yeah, it's hard to believe that would be in Magic Kingdom, isn't it? That's fucking crazy. That's redonk, bro. That's completely redonkulous, man. Hey, I don't work here, and if I did, I would not surrender shit. Hey, I don't work here, but maybe I should. Oh shit. My headset is at 5%. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, no, no. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, no. Seems there's been a planned attack. Santa sent you fool. A dirty white singlet, you fool. Hey, I don't work here, but maybe I should. Yeah, oh, maybe I should. Oh, no. Oh, maybe I should. Oh, oh, maybe I should. Oh, no. Maybe I should. Oh, maybe I should. Seems there's been a planned attack. Oh shit, give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can join my friend. And if not, well, fuck. Ready as me for melee. I still can't get over that, that was pretty funny. Oh heck. VRC, everything's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Oh, chilling being lewd. I hope he's not being lewd. Wait a minute. Oh dear. If he is and we join him, and if he is and we join him, I'm gonna first turn off the visual, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna see what's up. I'm gonna see if they are being lewd, and if they are, then I'll just go and everything will be okay. That or it's gonna crash. Either way. And if they aren't, well then I might be able to hang around if they're cool with it. Or they're gonna not accept it, and that's totally fine too. I kind of hope that I know soon though, because that would be fan-fucking-tastic. You're right, it is Fenrir, always lewd. You might need to mute for it too. Unlikely. He's just gonna say something about turning someone into a puppy factory, and then that'll probably be it. Fenrir always lewd. Yes, it is indeed. It is indeed. Hey, I don't work here, but if I did, I would not surrender shit. Hey, I don't work here, but maybe I should. Yeah, oh, maybe I should. Oh, no, no. Alright, I'm seeing that basically it's, okay. So, I'm going to read that he's not going to send me one. He's being lewd, so it's okay. I'll just pop up in my friend, my wonderful, 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 fantastic boy. No, he's just a good friend. He's very, not, let's see, give me a second. It's absolute fucking cutie. Let me find him. There he is. Okay. He'll probably accept it. Knowing him, he'll probably accept it, because he's a fucking sweet-ass bean. He's a complete adorka butt. There's been a planned attack. He shakes me when he asks. I love that I can lean on my desk and do this now. Hey, I don't work here, and if I did, I would not surrender shit. Hot shit. Mixed messages. Mixed messages. There you go. There he is. There we go. Ayo. Give me a second. Days for 7 fucking days, yeah. Mixed messages. Mixed messages. And if it crashes, that's fine. I'll just inform him what happened, and then we can maybe just, and then until the time is up, which I'll probably have only like maybe 25 minutes. Then I'll probably just play Disney Speedstorm until then, possibly. Get back to that, I suppose. Unfortunately, because this crashes or does its dumb shit again, I don't know if I can deal. Maybe I should. Oh, maybe I should. Oh no. Oh, maybe I should. Oh no. Oh, maybe I should. Oh no. Oh, maybe I should. You know what? At some point, I might want to just stream Mabonagi again, because I'm not gonna lie, I miss playing that with friends. Oh, that would be a great game to actually play on stream if you'd be into it, Yuzora. But I mean, it can kind of be pretty. It's pretty good. Oh my god, it's actually initializing the world. But I did see the other one initializing the world too, so who knows? It's been a bland attack. So he shakes me when he asks. Aren't you going to save my son? No. What the fuck did... What? I'm sorry? Who do you think I am? Because, if you forgot, hey, I don't work here. Oh my god, it's connecting. Is it gonna work? Oh my god, it's gonna be the first world, the world that isn't my home world. Please say yes. VRC, be polite, come on. I can hear him in the world now, but... Come on, VRC. We're friends, aren't we? Aren't we friends? Come on, VRC. Oh my god. Oh, wait, VRC. No, no. Calm down, VRC. Come on. Come on. Dude, I've been fucking dying for so long. Oh my god. Dude, okay, so I'm streaming right now, but this is the first time that I was fucking able to like get back into it and actually get into a world because all the other ones shut me out. Is everyone okay in here? No one's being lewd or have like any things out or nothing, right? Right? I imagine they wouldn't be. He's like, 1 second. This is okay. It's okay. Like they can say lewd things, just not anything like TOS. Everyone knows what that is. I'm just looking to make sure to have there no pornographic material. That's all. Oh, okay. You like if they want to continue talking and I have to go, that I'm totally okay with that. Okay. Wow. I've never seen this map before. Gotcha. Thank you, Bon checking. Oh, that's right. I can now turn the music back on. Or at least the background, yeah. I love this song too. Come on, Spotify, behave. Everything's okay. Everything's coolio. Everything's all good in the hood. Oh, that's right, because Spotify had to. Oops, daisy. It's what? Okay. Is everything good? Yes. Oh, VRC, be nice. Okay, there we go. Oh, man. Scary. Oh, I think my camera changed too. Oh, it took out the local camera. My bad. Oh heck, VRC, be nice. Hi, how's it going? Hi, it's been good. Ah, hello. Hello, it's been a time. I know. I've always been doing something. I'm sorry about that. Well, thank yous. I'm glad you guys. Oh, how are you all, by the way? Yes, it's friendly. Only people watching are like my friend and my other friend. Things are good. They're great people. Everything's fine. Yee, cutie bean. For some reason when I came in here, it changed my anchor, so I'm gonna like need to wait. I think I can change things if I just walk away from it, and then hey, I think it's working. Wait 1 sec. And then change it to local, and then zoom in. Yes. Yes. Wait, actually, let me set it to default and then mess. Okay, let me change this real quick. Oh, it locks on, that's why. VRC, everything is okay, calm down. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Oh, I freaked out. I'm sorry. Don't let me interrupt y'all with conversation. Oh, I'm on Twitch right now. No, I'm not streaming on Discord. Yes, you cute bean. So let me also put that near them, so that that's. Here we are. Hello. Oh wait, where am I? Let me. Okay, center myself. There we go. Howdy. So I won't be able to be around for long. It's now like 12:06, and I gotta get off around like 12:30, which sucks. But I just wanted to make sure everyone. I just want to say hi, as well. And I was doing this, and then I don't get to see you on a lot. It's lovely seeing you too. I was actually telling them about you. You being a wonderful being, wonderful, kind, generous boy. Oh. No! No! Ah, no! No! Pa-pa-da-pa. You fucking sweetheart. Give me a second. I have been doing well. How are you all? I hope you guys have been having a lovely day. Great night and all. Oh dear. I know the feelings. I've done that a fair amount of times. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, well, very eventful. Lordy Lou. 1 second, let me see. Mm-hmm. 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 Aw. Aw. Oof. Yeah. Really? How was it? Excellent, I hope. Ah, 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 ah. That's wonderful. That'd be amazing. Yes, hello, Sprixie. What is it? Hmm. Okay, I hear you. I don't think you do. I can check it though if you'd like. It's not my bio, but it's the exact same thing above my head, so you don't even have to. You can just look at that and it'd be fine. Is Heckin on a call? Yeah. Gotcha. I hear you. Woofity woof woof. Yeah, probably. Oh no. Oh, when did the ad break start? Oh heck. I can't hear the others. Is that intentional? No, it's not intentional. You should be able to hear them. Give me a second. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh heck, what happened? Oh, it must have been the encoding thing. That's I think a couple audios got mixed up. So let me put that back. Okay, yeah, that should be.
Says I already added you, but I don't remember
I vaguely
when I
hear.
added you.
It's far too quiet to make out. Darn it. Okay, well that just means I'll turn my stuff for them up, and then I will turn the stuff for me down, so that it'll equal out. Actually, or I could do this. Ah.
The fuck? When did I add you? I don't remember adding you.
You must have at some point.
You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put the waving thing there so I can.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to show you a makeup look I.
Uh-huh. Oh, there we go. Hi.
Oh, did Queen crash?
Oh.
Today.
Oh, there we go.
No, they're still.
I was saying, here's a makeup look I did earlier today. Crazy saw it. He liked it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm a
This
hat.
is going to be a rare instance where you're going to see my real hair. I usually do not show my real hair, but I liked how it looked in this picture.
Okay, let's see. I can.
Because I usually only wear my braids.
Gotcha. Let me open my Discord. Oh my god, and I'm getting a good.
Sending now.
All right, got it. Ah, my back. Ooh, there we go.
Oh,
My
terribly
neck,
sorry.
my
Wait a
back,
sec.
seeing my crack.
And demonetized. No kidding.
No, it's okay.
Partnership terminated.
Oh no.
I'm pretty sure everyone has quoted that song on Twitch before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be the first.
Goodness.
Well, let's see. I can hear them now. Awesome, Yazi. Give me a second. Oh, sorry. Discord is still opening, unfortunately. Should be nice. I figured out that. Oh. Huh. Earlier when I had Discord open, it was stopping me from visiting other worlds while I was streaming specifically, which was very weird for me. But I think it's because after a certain amount of times, it wants to disconnect you. Come on, Discord. Everything is okay. Everything is alright. Heck.
I've got to do the eyebrows.
Say what, my man?
They forgotten. I forgot me eyebrows.
Cubian.
Where's the U's?
Oh my god, why didn't I just turn them up? Oh, that was my
Yeah, I
bad.
forgot I could actually work on this possum model. I gotta put the scrawny shirt on.
Oh, it looks so good though. I love it so far. Oh, VRC, behave. Oh, please, VRC, behave.
It's one of my favorite possum
Uh-huh.
models.
Duh. I'm so happy for you. Give me a second. I'm.
Take
Ba,
off
ba,
the
ba, ba,
mini.
ba. Oh my god. Honey, you're beautiful. Oh my god. Guys, she's so pretty.
I
Oh
also
my
had
God.
the millionth person on this game today be like, 'cause most people don't read my bio right away, so I had like the millionth person today be like, "You're trans?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh my.
Oh.
Most people can't. Granted, I don't bring it up all that often, to be fair.
Yeah.
'Cause I like to keep it that way. I'm open about it. I just, unless it's relevant to a conversation, I usually don't talk about it.
Yeah,
I'm more
I know how
talking
that can
about
be.
Video games,
Yeah.
anime, furries.
All those things. Hell yes. I love
I
it.
have a
Personal
boyfriend.
enjoyments
The
and
fact that I
things.
have a boyfriend who is also
Uh-huh.
comfortable with me having 7 owners. Yes.
She's like, Mike over here counting. She's like, yes,
Oh, and
all the
one pet.
things. Well, that's nice. It was so good. By the way, nice to meet you, Snake. It's a pleasure. I hope you've been having a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I'm super happy to hear. Joe. Do banana. Do. Howdy. Woofity.
But no.
Mhm.
Usually when I go out, I usually wear my braids everywhere because my mom hates my real hair. But this one's been suggesting I wear my real more often, so I've been doing that.
Honestly, your
Yeah.
natural hair looks lovely.
Yeah.
And mind you, that's just what it looks like when it's wet. Wait till you see what it looks like when it's dry.
Woofity.
Somebody,
Nice.
I said that, and somebody heard that out of context and thought I said something else.
no.
Oh no.
Oh my.
Cutie beans. That's so
Oh my God.
nice.
No, this is what it looks like when it's dry. I was really drunk in this picture, forewarning. That's why I
Oh.
look like that.
Give me a second. I'm gonna use my phone this time because last time it wanted to fritz out my computer. So give me one moment. Just say.
Well, entirely understandable.
Yes. I can't get over this bean right here though. He's one of the kindest, sweetest, most generous people I've ever fucking
Yes,
met. You
he
thoughtful bean.
is.
He's such a
Everyone is
good
far
boy.
Too kind to me, honestly.
It's
I'm not
not-
worthy of such goodness.
No, it's not true. You are. You're a fantastic person. I love you to death.
I
You're so
never know.
wonderful. You've been
you
so
are
kind,
precious.
thoughtful,
You're
and sweet of me. And oh, VRC, behave.
Kind. No.
Okay, there we go.
Goodness.
So sweet.
No. Everyone is hard to kind to me, honestly. I do deserve all the kindness. Everyone just keeps upon me constantly. Genuinely.
He deserves it. He deserves it. Don't let him think that he does not.
Don't believe their lies and falsehoods.
It's
Do
for
not believe-
real.
No.
It's for real. The hype is real. It's real.
One Piece is real.
It's real. We must now sail the seven seas.
Oh my.
Thank you, Gazi Bazi. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta say, in some adorable ways, like you and my friend in chat are like so sweet and clean sometimes. I don't know. I feel like you guys would make for like very good friends, which I would love to have you guys meet sometime. You're so very sweet.
I'd be delighted to meet the deer, honestly. It'd be a joy.
Yo, you're so cute. I could like see if like yo, Yuzora, would you be happy with meeting my wonderful friend here? He's a complete fucking delight, kind of like you. And if you'd be down for that, like I was going to say, maybe you.
Everyone's too kind to me.
Well, it's.
It's how you present yourself, though. And you're naturally nice. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yes.
You are naturally nice, and that's a good
Natu-
thing.
naturally, a
I will be
kind, wonderful
upfront- I
people.
will be upfront and honest.
I was a
I've
monster back in my youth.
I've
Goodness.
told him. I've told him
Aren't
this
all of us a
many,
little?
many times.
Mm-hmm.
I've told him.
Yes.
When I first met him, it was for
Yes.
his birthday last year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, last year.
Yes.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
when I first met him,
Uh-huh.
he was acting like he usually met him. It was for
Uh-huh.
his birthday last year. Yeah, last year.
Yeah. Keep going.
Upfront and honest, I've told.
Oh, the poor
VRC.
lagging a tad.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Give me a second. One moment. I also got something, but it won't show me, so give me a second. Let me see what that was about. Oh, hi! Yeah, Lonely Circle, hi, how are you? Ah, it's good to see you. Okay, give me a second. Oh, so... I'm sorry, you can continue. I think,
Yeah. So when I first met him, obviously my first impressions were very different than what my impressions are of him now.
yes. Uh-huh.
That's usually how it goes. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Oh, VRC, come on, behave.
I never certain vibes. Then I don't do anything with that. But with him, when I first met him, I initially thought that the niceness he was
What was fake? I get you.
giving.
Yeah, you thought it was not.
fake.
You thought it was
And
disgenuine.
And then I got to know him, and I'm like, oh no, he's genuinely that nice.
Yes, indeed.
And that's what I like about him.
Of course.
Sweet. He's so
Again,
cute.
everyone is just incredibly kind to me. I do feel like I'm quite undeserving of such. but
He's
I
so
am
sweet.
eternally
He's
grateful,
wonderful.
Truly. Goodness.
Hey,
He's very
let's see.
patient too.
Oh,
and
he
you have
is.
to be patient when dealing with me.
I hear you.
No, you're an
Hi,
absolute delight. Goodness.
yo, let's see. Wait one sec. Wait one sec. Yo, Guitar, did you switch your name to the Lonely Circle, or? Give me a second. Guitar the Circle? Did you rename yourself, or is this somebody else? Give me a second. They should be in chat now. Trying to understand. What is going on? This might not be the same person I'm thinking about. No, not the same person. Well, okay. Hey, I wanted to say I'm gonna end up like I'm gonna end stream soon. Unfortunately, like maybe in 5, 6, 8 minutes. So I can't really like invite, and I also got to get off VR at the same time. So I'm very sorry, Lonely. Perhaps we can talk another time. You can talk in chat if you want. I'd love to. Yuzara, I will definitely redeem that hydrate. I'm so sorry. You guys can talk while I'm talking. I don't want to like like feel free to like.
Oh no, you're entirely fine.
Okay.
No worries.
Do you mind if I ask?
It's a very important
Do you mind
chance
if
to
I
be ignored.
ask you a question? A few
Yep,
questions.
yep,
Nothing
yep.
big, but like
Yep,
I'll
yep,
wait
yep,
till
yep.
after you do the intro. I'll wait till after you do the outro.
Oh, so you want me?
Not
Okay,
safe for work questions.
got it. Okay, I can do that. Give me a second. Let's see.
After the
Instagram.
outro. Oh, it's
I
nothing-
can't-
Nothing big. I just had a
Okay.
question.
I can't open it on okay, definitely. Give me 1 second. I can't open Instagram because I don't have the app and I don't have the space for it. But I want to say in that picture you look quite beautiful and your natural hair is so wonderful and curly. It's so wonderful. Yes. Oh.
I still like to. I still want.
Mhm.
I still like to wear my braids everywhere, but
Of course.
every once in a while I'll wear my hair, especially if I'm going to like a family event.
Mhm.
I'll put conditioner in, especially because again this one's got me
Mhm.
start wearing it more often, and it makes
Yeah.
me. I like it. I
Uh-huh.
started wearing it more often. I tried a different style with it, and I like the style I do with it.
Of course. How's everyone's day been, by the way, so far? I'm gonna end stream very soon, and also Yuzora, totally, absolutely, when you meet him, you can bring a friend. It's totally cool. I know you. You just want to make sure you're in a nice, comfy social space. I understand, and don't worry, this bean would definitely get that to you, because he is such a fucking delight. You fucking cutie.
I don't know where all these high accolades people keep heaping up on me, but I do infinitely appreciate the kindness, truly.
Oh,
I do hope I am,
doll.
able to
We deserve
fulfill as many dreams as
everyone. You
possible.
fucking cutie.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Goodness.
I'm
You
gonna do
fucking
this
good.
when I meet him in person. I'm gonna do this one's makeup.
Oh, that's adorable.
Honestly, I greatly look forward to this. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Go, my friends like again.
I've
Oh,
never done anyone else's makeup, but I'm sure it can't be that hard.
It's one of my favorites, honestly. Goodness.
doll.
I mean,
So
the
much fun.
foundation
And there's all
colors
my cult
probably.
Oh, the cult.
Our foundation
Oh.
colors might be the same.
If you can find anyone like, oh my god, if you can ever find like a Mike, if you can ever find like a model of like a fennec or a wolf like cult member, like in all the robes and shit like that or whatever, it doesn't have the effect. I want to let you know, I'll be your cult member. I'll be the boy.
I mean, I haven't seen any, but I would love to look for.
All right, radical.
Goodness.
You can sacrifice me on the altar.
Wait, no,
Creepy
no,
tail.
I don't want to sacrifice any of my followers, honestly.
I
Goodness,
know.
They're all my
I-
babies. I love my sweeties
Oh,
so much. They're
thank
so
you. I
adorable.
barely sacrifice mine either, to be honest. I hope I'll live up to the hype. Yuzora,
I've had them
you do,
requested
you
before,
sweetheart.
and I'm just like,
Uh-huh.
yo, you can lose the face super early.
Yeah.
It's fine as long as I still get to keep you and you're alive. I have to
Oh,
decline
you're so
request.
sweet, you fucking cutie boy.
Goodness.
Okay, it's 12:25, so I'm going to whisk around here and set up a raid for someone that I'm gonna have to fucking find, which is a big oopsie doodle. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. You can even talk about it while I do this. I'd be super happy to hear it myself as well.
I wish I had a lot to say, but I really didn't do that much today. I mostly
Mm-hmm.
just, like I said, I did that one makeup look, which I put that makeup on when the moment I got out of the shower. That's why my hair was still wet in the picture. I liked how it looked, so I kept it on, but then I got so tired. I don't know
Yeah.
why I was tired. I think it was because my sleep schedule was really bad. So
Yeah,
was
I
so
hear you.
tired, and
Go on.
I fell asleep, forgot to take my makeup off, and then I'm like, I wake up, because normally, sometimes when I fall asleep with my makeup usually stays on pretty okay. For some reason, when I woke up today, it looked
Yeah.
like I had 2 black eyes, and I'm like, oh, I need to take this shit off.
Oh no, that's not good.
yeah, no, it did not stay on the way I thought it would. So I'm like, no. It looked really good when it was blended in though. It's just I'm like, oh, I need to take this shit off.
No, I feel
I
you.
was so tired, and I felt it looked really good when it was blended in though. It's just on every time, and I will not take it off when I go to sleep because I forget. I'm like, oh.
I hear you.
Even the same thing with my glasses. I wear them right now because I don't have any glasses, but when I get some new ones, I do.
Yeah.
Actually, I forget all the time to take them off before I go to sleep because they're on my face so often that I forget they're on my face.
No, I hear you. Keep going, if you'd like.
The only other thing I'm trying to think about what I have to say.
He's like thinking.
I guess I could say this. I don't think it's that personal. So I have. You already know I have gender dysphoria. So I wear a pad.
Hello, welcome
everywhere
back.
I go.
Uh-huh.
And because that dysphoria is like very prevalent, I tend to sleep in my bra. I don't ever take it off. The only time I take it off is if I have to wash it, which you know I wash it pretty frequently. If I have to wash it, or if I'm taking a shower, that's the only time I take it off. If I go to sleep, I sleep in it. But I've also been told I shouldn't be doing that.
You oofity.
I know this one's told me not. I know this one's told me not to do that a few
Totally.
times, but it's habit.
Okay, so I don't have, I've never seen their, oh, that's right, but I should also hop straight to their channel too. Oh dear, give me a second. I should probably be in so I can also say, hey, Raider, hello, stuff like that. Anyway, so I'm gonna send you guys over to Kovaro. I'm gonna make sure I'm loaded in first before I start up that. Yeah, their name is Korvaru. I'm putting the
I know them.
gonna rate them. Oh, that's nice. That's great. I'm gonna send my raid into theirs real quick. All right, raid starting now. I hope you guys have an absolutely lovely time. All right.